Paul Robinson. He's aware of the oar in his hands, and he's aware of the man in front of him. And he hears... What does he hear? It's a sound with no words, and it's a sound with any number of words. Push-pull, it might be saying. In-out, it might be saying. Shh, it might be saying. Whatever it is saying, it will not quiet, and it will not relent to any sensory experience that does not move it in time to its beat. It's both unfaltering and inescapable. This is all he can hear, all he can feel, just this rhythm and the sensation of his own mind baking, screaming for oxygen, begging for a different rhythm, craving irregularity. He dives over the side of the boat and watches his colleagues row off into the distance, unaware of his departure. And he treads water, waiting for the shock that the icy river should bring, waiting for thoughts to pour back into his mind, waiting for the rhythm to subside and disappear over the horizon, the same as the boat now has. But now he's aware of his own legs, quite against his will, kicking in time to the same rhythm. Fush, 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 fush. And the water, which should be cold, is not. And there's no respite for his mind as his visions blur and his brain throbs, and there's nothing but the rhythm cooking his brain with each pulse. Bake, 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 bake. He can take no more, and he stops treading water, allowing his head to slip slowly below the surface. But even then, in what should be a moment of euphoric peace, as his lungs fill with water and take him closer to silence, all that he hears is glug glug, glug glug, glug glug. So, how long have you been having these dreams? Asked the therapist, clicking the end of her pen in between jottings. The therapist's name is Claire Thorne. Claire Thorne. Claire Thorne. Claire... Sorry. How long have you been having the rowing dreams? Claire Thorne clicks her pen again. Well, I suppose since we started training more frequently, he says. Ah, yes, you must be getting in plenty of training now, with it only being a year away. Well, I think it's fair to say, without breaking therapist-patient confidentiality, that you're the first Olympian I've had in here. She clicks her pen again. Click, 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 click. Please, would you stop doing that? With the pen, he says. Claire Thorne puts the pen down and they talk some more. He tells her about the dreams, how they happen more and more these days. He tells her how the rhythm is seeping into his waking life, even when he's nowhere near the boat. He tells her how the conversation of others seems to have taken on a new syllabic pattern that perfectly matches the rhythm, making simple dialogue almost unbearable. He tells her how the rhythm is affecting him so much that he is thinking that he may say, to hell with the Olympics and never pick up an oar again. He tells her that he thinks the rhythm is driving him insane. And then he makes the joke about the song by Gloria Estefan, because he thinks that the same joke has no doubt been going through Claire Thorne's mind since he started referring to the rhythm as a proper noun, and he doesn't want to appear as though he lacks self-awareness. Claire Thorne laughs. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. And then asks if he's ever had any dreams in the past that may have been brought on by repetitive activities. He tells her he used to dream about stacking shelves, back in his sixth form days when he had a job at Tesco's. All day he would stack shelves. All night he would do the same. They talk some more, and he wonders if he would have liked to have slept with Claire Thorne, back in the days when sex was something his mind would let him do, before he realised how fucking rhythmic it all was. She's pretty, probably, but he cannot be seen beyond how annoying she is. Claire Thorne, Claire Thorne, Claire Thorne, click, 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 click. He gets up from the couch. Claire Thorne swears that she will help him over the coming weeks and will have him ready to win gold in 2012. Claire Thorne really wants him to win at the Olympics. He pays Claire Thorne. He will not come back. Christ! Is it my fault? Asks Jeff Boone, sipping from his pint glass. No, he says. It's not your voice I hear, it's more rhythm of the strokes, I think. I mean, you shout out different things, don't you? There's variety in your instructions. It's not like you shout in, out, or anything like that. It's the sound of the oars in the water, or the feel of it, or the sight of the other guys moving back and forth, or all of those things. I don't know, but it's driving me mad. I mean, I really think it might be. Well, it's just nerves. It's all part of the sacrifice too. I mean, a year from now, we will be sat here wearing our medals, surrounded by adoring women, and the only rhythms you'll have to worry about is the rhythm of said woman bouncing up and down in your cock. Seriously, don't worry about it. And don't eat cheese before bedtime. Jeff Boone is trying to be a good friend, but in truth, his attempts at empathy are hampered by the fact that he's waiting for one of the other lads to leave his pint unattended long enough for him to fart in it. Fart pint. Fart pint. Fart pint. But does it ever happen to you? I mean, do you ever have dreams brought on by, repetition in your daily life? Well, actually, says Jeff Boone, putting his glass down, a memory seemingly triggered. Now that I think about it, I do have this dream where over and over again I'm having sex with your mum. I should really stop doing that so often. Jeff Boone laughs. Ho ho, ho ho, ho ho. They both drink some more, each with his reasons. He's standing by the road waiting to cross. He hasn't done what he meant to do. He hasn't told Jeff Boone that he wants to leave the rowing team. He's still going to the Olympics. He never could let people down, it was never in his nature, but now he's undone by his own sense of duty. After months of being afraid to, he finally put into words exactly what he's going through, but nobody understood anything beyond the meaning of the individual words. He's alone. And maybe that's why he steps out blindly into the road. Maybe he's ready for the sort of blissful tranquility that dying in his dreams has failed to bring him. Maybe he's ready for a world where rowing, drinking, bucking, Claire Thorne, Jeff Boone don't exist, where there's no pulse, no beat, and no rhythm. Or maybe he's just drunk. In any case, he has little time to think about that before the bus hits him, with a satisfyingly unrepeated thud that is quickly followed by beautiful silence. There's a sound, a familiar sound, a sound he's not heard in, he doesn't know how long, but what is it? There is a rhythm that he definitely has heard before. It's the rhythm of a drum, and is that? Yes, it's a cymbal. Boom to boom tish, boom to boom tish. And then there's something else. There's a melody, guitars, keyboards, a voice. It's a song he likes. His favourite song from a long time ago, perhaps, when he was a young boy. And then there's a light. White, blurry light without focus. Beautiful, but uncomfortable. And then there's colour, warmth, saturation, shape, definition. And the discomfort's gone. And then there's his mother, sat on a chair by his bed, holding a portable CD player that's playing the Now 37 album he got for his 9th birthday. She sees his eyes open and she spontaneously bursts into tears. He thinks to himself, if this is a dream, it's the first for a very long time. Once his mother's jubilant God-thanking and miracle-proclaiming have convinced him that he is still alive, he tells her not to worry and that he'll be really careful from crossing the road now on, and that he loves her too. And as she heads for some well-needed rest, her vision will finally over. But no sooner has his mother left than another visitor arrives. It's the cox from his rowing team, Jeff Boone. Your mum called me, he says, and when we finished having phone sex, she told me you'd woken up. How the fuck are you? I feel good, he says. How are you? Pretty good, says Jeff Boone. So, you going to show me the medal then? I didn't bring it. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it with all the, I can't believe you slept through it all, and then, he's never seen Jeff Boone look so guilty as he does today. It's almost as if it were Jeff Boone who did this to him, as if it were Jeff Boone driving that bus. I wasn't saying without you there, says Jeff Boone. You should have a gold medal too, by rights. Or, at the very least, you should be able to get in a boat with us in 2016. It is a shame, he muses, that he had to lose his right arm to do it. But he's finally reduced Jeff Boone to solemnity. Don't worry about it, he says. You can get medals like that down the trophy shop for £4.50. I'll nip down there tomorrow. Jeff Boone laughs. Before long he's his normal self, and in a situation that would typically dictate that there be more than 20 minutes of, albeit uncharacteristic, sensitivity, he's once more making jokes on the theme of coitus with his stricken comrade's mother. And then there's a brief return to seriousness as Jeff Boone pauses at the door and says, "I'll come back tomorrow. Bring some of the other lads. Can I get you anything before I go?" "Yeah, you can press play on the CD player for me," he says. Jeff Boone presses play, pauses indignantly and exclaims, "Ricky fucking Martin," and leaves. He listens to the music. As many times as he's heard this CD before, he now hears something new in each track, as though each song has been re-recorded while he slept. There's a new drum part here, a different guitar effect there. There's something wonderful about finding novelty in the familiar, he thinks. Some months have passed, then he's out walking, stepping over puddles and kicking through golden leaves. His prosthetic right arm swings by his side with a reassuring weight about it. His other hand clasped loosely with that of Claire Thorne. She's no longer his therapist. He's aware of a gentle swish as his new limb drags slightly through the autumn breeze, arcing back and forth like a pendulum, keeping steady time and yet never seeming to synchronise with the swing of Claire's free arm. And now, as they walk by the river, he's aware of a distant fush-fush, fush-fush of oars. As his old friends cut through the water, their strokes a splish-splash whisper becoming louder with each repetition. Claire grips his hand a little more tightly and steers him away from the river's edge, back towards the town. There, a cacophony greets him, reverberating about the concrete, stone and glass, the sound of 1,000 footsteps, the growling of motors, the blast of angry horns, the coos of hungry pigeons, and the fade-in, fade-out of 100 different conversations. It is rush hour.